tank line, especially when you're both, you know, both of these guys, like, look at the siege tank line is just outside of that range. So if these Marines, for any reason, get baited out here by some shots, it's going to be pretty bad. Thor is now coming out for Albuquerque as well, getting in range of this siege tank. So we are going to see quite a few shells being tossed back and forth. This one in range just cannot see it, unfortunately. So, yeah, this is the problem with TVTs. They can just turn into complete standoffs, and it always becomes a battle for the air. I'd love to see some battle cruisers right now. Bring out the BCs.
That would actually be a great transition for whoever built them first, because there are no Vikings out for either player. And Thors, despite the fact that they are the only anti-air that is that a mech army is in possession of, do pretty poorly against battlecruisers.
Yeah, battlecruisers are actually pretty badass, and especially late game TVT, because they do hit air and ground. Although, I mean, if your opponent's just massing Vikings, not too great, but either way, it would still be fun to see. I love me some Yamato cannons, or Yamato cannons, Yamato.
Tomato guns.
Albuquerque has had that third up for a while. Istadan is getting his third up at the lower ground third. Both these players have been playing so similarly. I mean, their builds, they both went basically tank range. Yeah, there we go. Couple of one Thor gets taken down to that bait, and this other Thor gets killed more than halfway, and this Banshee going to be taking out this Tech Lab, which is going to set production back quite a bit, and supply block again. Oh god, these siege tanks are shelling up there, getting a Thor kill for themselves, so both players just trading Thors at this point.
Albuquerque's getting supply block really frequently now. If you look around at all of his supply depots, you can see that he's dropped a lot of call down extra supplies from his command centers, which is fine because he's in no way lacking in resources, but he's supply capped again, and he's pretty much been supply capped except when he lost units for a fair amount of time now. And he's not actually building anything to rectify that. He might be doing something where he just drops extra supplies instead of mules, instead of building supply depots to save minerals, but he's not really on top of it if that's his idea. I've seen people do that before. It's kind of an interesting thing.
Oh wow.
Banshee is killing siege line.
Are going to wreck all of these tanks. Istadan has only one tank left, and he's going to push in with these Thors, and they are just going to get demolished by the siege tank line. Istadan is just falling so far behind right now. He gave up his position. He gave up his entire army. We're looking at a 143 to 85. It's 143 to just 85 in favor of Albuquerque, and he's like, "Oh, you just lost like 13 Thors. You must not have too much. I'm going to push out."
That's a decision we don't see too often from our bronze-silver players, actually. So it's a refreshing change of pace.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. At this level of play, obviously game sense isn't quite as refined as the higher leagues. Sometimes it's very difficult to know if you're ahead, if you're behind. Scouting information is usually pretty low or lax, and therefore you don't really know what your opponent is up to or where he stands. But yeah, Albuquerque kind of felt it, and I mean, it's kind of hard not to feel it after killing like 13 Thors and every siege tank. So. I'm sure that was pretty clear or evident, and he does push for the win. Istadan, GG's out. Thank you very much, Istadan, for playing and coming out. We hope you had a good time. Hope maybe you'll do better next week. So, YouTube viewers, thank you very much. Vorapsak, our head admin, thank you for stepping in and casting, doing a little bit of guest casting here at the beginning of the Bronze-Silver Division. Much appreciated, sir.
Yep. You're welcome. Anything to make your job easier.
Awesome. Yeah, Vorapsak, one of the most valuable pieces of the ASC Weekly staff and team. So, also, guys, check out the Justin.tv Invitational. The qualifiers are this Thursday, as well as, I believe, every Thursday up until mid-March. I will post that information on ASCWeekly.com ASAP, so keep an eye on that. So thank you very much again, and we'll see you in the next VOD. Go and click it!